Ignacio Bahamondes. Ignacio Bahamondes. I mean, this was a guy that was bred to be a martial artist. His dad taught the martial arts. Ignacio liked the martial arts. And it was kickboxing that was the first love. It was kickboxing that got him to the dance. And if you do look at it for Bahamondes, 35-0-1 as an amateur kickboxer. He was a Chilean national champion at the age of 14. And we've seen this progression from Bahamondes where he used to get caught, he used to leave himself out there, and he fought a stiff level competition because he moved to the States, at a really young age and started to get it done. He got submitted by Preston Parsons years ago at 170. Then he moved down to 155. His last fight was catchweight at 160. He had that loss to Matt McKeon where he got submitted. He lost to Salvador Becerra way back in 2019. And then that UFC debut, after looking amazing against Edson Gomez back on Contender Series 2020, he loses to John Makdessi by split decision. How that was a split decision, I will never know, because John Makdessi pressured him, put it on him. Bahamondes was wearing the damage. So I wasn't sold on Bahamondes. And all of a sudden, I was super high on him coming into the UFC. I was really low on my fellow East Coaster, John Makdessi. And then all of a sudden, my brain was scrambled. So now I've had to individually break down all of Ignacio Bahamondes' fights, and there's been 3 since, and they've all been wins, and tried to figure out this pattern. So he takes on Roosevelt Roberts, and he has one of the knockouts of the year. 2021's knockout of the year, the wheel kick knockout. Roosevelt ends up over on The Ultimate Fighter, and that is what it is. And Fight Hive saying live, he just ignores our stupid comments most of the time. You have no idea how hard it is to do a live show for hours on end with all this knowledge that some of it's written down. I'm trying my best, fellas. I'm trying my best. I'll do my best to do it over in the chat, but sometimes it's tough. When you're the Charlie Montoyo, real manager jersey, trying to manage this sucker, it's not always the easiest thing in the world. So when you do look at this one, I mean, for Ludwig Klein, his last time out, he takes on Jai Herbert. And I mentioned this a lot, and I know Matt did as well when Herbert fought here a few weeks ago against Faraziem, and it doesn't matter that we were split on the pick in that fight. That's neither here nor there. You look at the final scores in that fight, and what were they? Well, point deduction in the third round due to a low blow for Jai Herbert. The final scores in that one, well, Herbert would have won the fight. 29-27, that was one of the scores in favor of Herbert. The other two were 28-28. So 2 of the judges gave the second round to Klein, and Herbert would have won the third if he didn't lose a point. So it's crazy to see that, like, Ludwig Klein was losing a fight against Jai Herbert. And that's not that bad, but that's a long-rangey boxer. Bahamondes is a long-rangey fighter, and I know Matt's talked about this in the past. He's really long, he's really rangy, but when he boxes in a phone booth, and when he kicks, it can be from miles away because he is such a big guy. And he's got that James Vick to him. 6'3" at lightweight isn't something that you see all that often. So a good opportunity for Ignacio Bahamondes, who's absolutely on a climb. And for Ludwig Klein, I've already mentioned this twice now. You go back through this card and you look at folks that throw spinning attacks that leave them out there. Well, Ludwig Klein, what do we know coming into the UFC? Crazy spinning back fist, crazy spinning kicks that he can throw to the body and to the head. And then when he's taking on Smoking Shane Young, he's landing the kicks that everybody told you about. Paul Felder mentioned it before the fight, and we're off to the races for Klein. Now, I thought Klein was going to go on a crazy run at 145, and now he's an undersized lightweight, even though he's full of muscle out of Slovakia. But when you do look at a guy like Bahamondes, trains with Bilal Muhammad, trains out of the Chicago area. You had a Chicago guy make his UFC debut last week in Darius Flowers, and it didn't work out for him against Jake Matthews at 170 on short notice. However, when you look at Ludwig Klein, I'll be interested to see if those long-range kicks, I know they're speedy, but sometimes they're long-range kicks. And against the kickboxer that's been doing it his whole gosh darn life, they could be a little bit difficult for Ludwig Klein. So a big-time fight, a big-time matchup in this one for Klein. 2-2 in the 5-on-in. I'll give you that graphic right here. The loss to Mike Trezano where the wrestling didn't get it done and Trezano was able to get it done on his own. Nate Landwehr submitted Klein. Devontae Smith was a split decision win. The Mason Jones win is one that ages really well. I know Jones just won over with Cage Warriors in his return, but for Klein, when he mixes his martial arts, he's very, very good at a Spartacus gym in Slovakia. So Klein's a tricky guy. Bahamondes, I've been low on him, and I will admit that. I feel like I still have this bias, even though I go back and I watch some of that fight tape. But yeah, I do have a hard time with this one. And the submission losses for Bahamondes early on in his career, But maybe that could rear its ugly head because if Klein, again, mixes martial arts, this could make it for a tough fight. Over on Tapology, total votes on this one, 1,797 votes. 90% Bahamondes, 68% by decision for the 10% that have Klein, 65% by decision. I have a look at Matt's pick on this one. He's going with Bahamondes. I don't know if I've taken Bahamondes to win a fight, but I'm going to take him to win this one. I did not have him to beat Trey Ogden. And for some gosh darn decision in that fight against Trey Ogden, Derek Cleary gave the second round to Ogden. And I don't know if I look at these things before the fights and I watch the fight and I have no freaking idea how he scored that second round for him. So I think it's a little bit wild, but yeah, for me, going with Bahamondes, Matt going with Bahamondes as well. And we have some big time fights on this one. Matt doing that European swing. Check him out at Fight Night Picks, at Matt Allen FNP. You can check him out on his Instagram. He's got some fun stories. Looks like he's living it up over there. For me, the vacation not that long ago, going to TO, running through the six with my woes. All right, some big time fights in this one. The next one, Canadian Tanner Boser taking on Aleksa Camur. You're not going to want to miss it. Keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks. We always say, let's get into it.